gente, ¿cómo están? ¿Cómo andan? Bienvenidos a este videito que hemos preparado para ustedes como un apéndice del episodio 13, en el cual hemos charlado sobre Paddington 1 y Paddington 2 de Blinkink. Decidimos hacer como este apéndice porque encontramos a Camille, quien trabajó en Paddington 2 junto con el estudio Framestore. Teníamos muchas ganas de hacerle preguntas sobre su trabajo, sobre su carrera y cómo fue la relación con esta peli. Y también, bueno, ya lo dijimos en el programa, teníamos muchas ganas de empezar con las entrevistas. Así que nada, acá está Camille con nosotros, que lo vamos a saludar. Hi Camille, how are you?
Hey, good, how are you?
You want to introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, where are you from, what is your job?
So my name is Camille, I'm from France. Right now I'm an art director / concept artist in an advertising company. I worked in Framestore for 1 year in 2017, so that's where I worked on Paddington. It's quite different from advertising, it's much longer, the productions are much longer. It's like you spend months sometimes on a single shot, whereas in an advertising you have like a month or two to make the advertising, the whole thing, I had an interview for another team, which is environment, which is a bit more generalist. So you do a bit more of everything, but it's only the environments. And so in the end, I got hired for the lighting team, which is more specific. It's like it's only lighting, but you get to work with the characters. Lighting and what we call look dev or shading, which is basically making the materials. So for instance, I have a model of a mouse, and the shading is gonna make this part look a bit more rough, the reflection more rough than this one, which is more shiny,
And you said that you spend very much time with a single shot.
It can be months, but it's hard to count like this because really you're not working on one single shot, like you're working on, I don't know, like 5-10 shots. Maybe, from the beginning, like, okay, I'm gonna have maybe, 20-30 shots on that film. And then you work them little by little. When the animation is ready, when you have everything you need, you start working on them, show them to your supervisor. When the supervisor is happy with it, he says, okay, we can show it to my supervisor.
Oh shit.
And so there's like two meetings, meetings that we call dailies, because they happen every day. And you have 2 dailies a day, once with your supervisor, once with supervisor, which is not called like that, like the lighting supervisor and the VFX sup, which is like the last guy before the director, basically.
How many people worked in VFX in Python? So with how many people did you work for the
VFX? So in VFX, I don't know, because first VFX can mean a lot of things. This is the VFX industry. Framestore is part of the VFX industry, but then inside Framestore, when you talk about VFX, you're usually referring to smoke, fire, explosion, that kind of stuff. But then, so in my department in lighting, we were 12 for Paddington 2. Another part of the lighting was done in Montreal. So for instance, there was one shot I really wanted to do, and I asked my lead. It's the shot where he's in the prison and it transforms into a jungle.
Oh.
And I saw it in the animation. I thought, wow, that looks really cool. I'd like to light that. It was like, well, that's done in Montreal, so you're not gonna do that.
How it's the experience of seeing later the movie and say that I work on that shot.
That's one of the best things. Actually, Paddington was one of my favorite projects of my whole year, but yeah, that's one of the cool parts, it's like seeing advertising in the tube and going to see the movie, seeing your name at the end, saying, okay, I did that shot. But yeah, that's cool.
And now you're working as a concept artist, you told us, at Blinkink. And I wanted to ask you, which are the main difference between working at Framestore and working in Blinkink?
So for that, I guess the main difference is the time you have to finish stuff. in advertising, you're gonna get less time, so it can be a bit frustrating because you want to push something but you can't, and it's not gonna be as pretty as you wanted it to be. But also, it's kind of satisfying because you like you get 1 week to do something and it's done. And if there is a problem, you don't need to send an email to a coordinator who is going to send it to a producer, who is going to send it to another producer, who is going to send it to the artist, etc. You just do it yourself, So that's, I guess, the main difference between advertising and film. When you work in the VFX industry, when you work on something in 3D that you're going to put on something that was filmed, so the goal is to make a lighting that matches exactly the actual lighting. So you don't come up with anything new, you don't have anything to create, you just try to reproduce something that already exists. And then what I'm doing now is really different. It's hardly comparable because I'm on a completely different stage of the production. I'm in the pre-production. So concept art is basically like drawing how the final thing is going to look like. Like I make an image, I make the whole image. When I'm in lighting, I depend on animation, I depend on what people did in environment, what people did in textures, etc. And so it's teamwork, it's great, but when you're doing concept art, it's just I decide of everything. And that's more creative. Right now, I'm also the only concept artist in my company. And so it's great in a way because I get everything, I get all the cool stuff. There's not someone above me getting the cool stuff and giving me but I don't learn from other people. And so, if I was in, Pixar, DreamWorks, I would probably be like a little soldier in a huge team, kind of like I was in Framestore, but I would learn probably more from other people. So
we like to thank you so much for the interview, Camille. It's been a pleasure.
I haven't thought about Paddington in a while actually, because it was not so long ago, but still there's been so many projects since that I had to go back in the film, see what I had done, and remember the little anecdotes from the time. So it was fun.
Thank you very much, and
thank you.
And hope we see soon.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Have a good
Gracias,
afternoon. Ciao.
Muchas gracias, Camille.
Muchas gracias, Camille.
Ciao.